Hi there, my name is Moses and you are welcome to Stable Rock Farms. On today's episode, we are going to talk about cheap or innovative or effective ways in which we can get some machines that aid us to maintain our livestock farm, right? So I had previously done a video similar to this for crop farm. I'll leave a link somewhere on the screen so that you can check that one out also. For this one is for livestock. So we're focusing on cheap and innovative machines, right? So there are others that are much more expensive, but for the purpose of this video, we want to focus on ones that are more affordable that many of the viewers can be able to purchase and use on their farms. So let's check it out. This is a test. This is a pregnancy test kit for your livestock, right? If you have so many different types of livestock on your farm and you need to ascertain which ones are pregnant and which ones are not. For those who are farmers, you know the importance of this. You don't want to have a pregnant pig, for example, and you are feeding it the same type of feed as the non-pregnant ones, right? Or you don't want to have a pregnant pig and you're leaving the sow or the gilt with other pigs, with other boars or the likes. They're probably going to fight and she'll have a miscarriage. That's a loss for you as a farmer, right? Or you don't want to have a pregnant pig and you don't know, and instead of you moving the pig so that she can stay on her own and you can bring another sow so that can be mounted by the boar, you understand? So if you don't do that on time as a farmer, you're losing money, you're losing value, because that boar is supposed to be servicing another sow or another gilt, but you have left it with this present sow or gilt thinking she's not pregnant yet. So there's so many reasons why it's very good for you to find out on time why when your livestock is pregnant, when your goat is pregnant, when your sheep is pregnant, when your pig is pregnant, and the likes, right? This machine can help with that. This is a water pump, right? Now, this is a 100-meter hose. This is a water pump. This is a 100-meter hose. So, for both livestock and crop farmers, I'm going to do this video in a two-part. So now that you're watching this, it's probably either crop or livestock, but whichever you are watching, just watch just somewhere on the link here on the screen. You see a link for the next video. So I'm talking about both crops and livestock. So how does a water pump help? If you're a livestock farmer, for example, and you have different types of livestock on your farm, right? You have pigs, you have cattle, you have chicken, etc. And you have, there's a water source somewhere, and this water needs to be sent to this livestock. This pump can work for you also. Or especially if you're a fish farmer. There's lots of water involved in fish farming, right? If your pond, for example, is not a natural pond, if it's you've created an artificial pond where it's been cemented and things like that, you know that every 2 to 3 weeks you're supposed to change this water, right? Just imagine how helpful this water pump will be. You have a 100,000 liter capacity pond and water needs to be pumped every 2 weeks. How are you going to do that, right? So you can imagine how useful this is. So, water pump. We're going to look at this debeaking machine, right? Those of you who have poultry, who have chicken, you know the importance of debeaking your chicken, and this machine is an automatic debeaking machine. It helps with that. Now, it's pain-free and it's very fast and effective. Now, if you have 10,000 chicken on your farm, then you know the importance of this machine. Are you going to individually debeak these chicks with manually with your hands? It's going to be a lot of work, and it's time consuming, it's energy consuming. There's lots of room for human error. That is where this machine comes in. This machine will aid you to do that more effectively. This is an ovulation tester, right? So, apologies. What do we mean by that? This is an ovulation tester. An ovulation tester basically helps ascertain the best possible time for you to provide a male animal to the female for breeding, right? Again, let's use examples with pigs, right? Or goats, right? You have 1,000 goats on your farm, right? Now, you need to know the best possible time to provide a male goat to the female goat so that they can breed, and then you provide the next one so that they can breed. You know, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of observation, right? It's too much work, right? But if you have this ovulation tester, you do it once in every few days, you'll be able to tell the ones that are in the best possible position, the best possible time, the best possible period for them to mate with their male counterparts, right? This machine helps you determine that. So it's very key, it's very useful for you on your farm. This is a fogger. This is an automatic fogging machine. So what do you mean by a fogging machine? For those of you who are your livestock farms, you understand the importance of this, especially pertaining to biosecurity, right? When you are trying to ensure that you don't have an outbreak of diseases on your farm, this machine comes in very handy. Once every week, once every 2 weeks, once every, however it is that you have decided, you go ahead and you disinfect your farm using this machine. It helps, you pour in your liquid, your solution, and then it brings it out as a fog, you know, like steam. You understand? And it will aid you in helping disinfect your farm. We also have the knapsack sprayer that you can use, right? You saw a video earlier that we used on our farm where we disinfected the farm with our knapsack sprayer. They do almost exactly the same thing. So this is quite helpful for you on your farm. This is a machine that helps with hatching of your chicks, right? So those of you who are poultry farmers, you know the importance of being able to hatch your own chicks on your farm, especially now that day-old chicks are becoming extremely expensive. In the past year alone, it has gone up more than 100% in some parts of Nigeria, and I'm sure across the different parts of the world where many of you are watching also, the prices of these products are going up every day. So it's important for you to be able to produce some of these things on your own. Even if you can't produce the numbers that you need, to a certain level, produce some, and then you complement it with the ones you're going to purchase outside. So this helps us with hatching of our chicks. Next thing we're going to look at here, you can see that these are ear tags. We have the ear tag machine somewhere. I will find it and put it on the screen somewhere for you. But we have the ear tag machines, and then we have these ear tags, and then you know the importance of that. I'm not sure if we had uploaded a video previously on this, but we actually shot a video where we were tagging some of our livestock. But again, the importance of tagging is so that you can understand the history of your livestock, right? As a serious farm, you are going to have clients that want quality products. They want quality livestock, especially if these are breeders that you are going to sell to other farmers so that they can purchase and also start their own farms, right? You don't want you want to have livestock that you can be able to account for. When was this? Let's use example with cattle. When was this cattle purchased? sorry, when was this cattle delivered on the farm, right? When was it born, right? Who is the mother? Who is the father? I hope this is not a case of inbreeding, right? What is, how old is it? All of these things can be able to ascertained simply by the tag number. If it is 010, we have the documents on our system, in our books, on our computers, everything, right? So once you, as the farmer, you decide you want to come to Stable Rock Farms and purchase your pig, for example, right? And you have decided, I want to purchase this pig, pig number 017. We'll go on our systems, pig number 017. This is a Duroc pig that so is the father, so is the mother. It was born on so day. This is when it got all its vaccines. Has it ever been sick? Yes. This is what happened to it. Has it ever been sick? No. Okay. How much food does it eat? What kind of, all the details about that particular livestock will be there in our records. So it will be easier to transfer to you, the buyer, right? So that's the importance of having ear tags for your animal. For a crop farmer, you know that this is very helpful for you. Not only a crop farmer, even a livestock farmer, this can be helpful for you too, right? You move your produce, you move some things, you move your livestock and things like that. You can see we have some of our dogs are just helping us with the video. This is a mix of Boabo and Canary, while these two are local breeds. For those of you who know dogs, this breed is going to be a massive dog when she's all grown. She's still just a few months old. So let's go. All right, next we're going to take a look at this scale. This is a 1000 kg digital scale. So what do I mean by that? It means this scale can be able to weigh up to 1000 kg, 1 ton of a produce or a livestock or whatever the case may be. So if you want to weigh get the weight of your goat, for example, you have a sheep. Let's say your sheep, you want to sell your sheep. You come here and the client wants to know the size, the weight of the sheep. You come, you put it up here, and this will tell you. And then you will have the smaller ones. These ones can be able to also tell you the weight of whatever it is. This can go up to 20 kg, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So for scale, that's what we have there. Here we have some knapsack sprayers. Again, this is for herbicide application. This is for insecticide application. This is for fungicide application. This is for disinfecting your farm. This can be used for IMO solution application. It's multi-purpose what you can do with your knapsack sprayers. Obviously, anytime you are using it, after it's used, you clean it properly so that whatever you are using it next for, it's not diluted with the previous chemical that was put in there. With this machine, if you watch one of our videos, you know I talked about this machine being the single most important purchase I've made for my farm. Well, let me rephrase that. The single most important, affordable, cheap purchase that I've made on my farm, right? This can be used for virtually everything. Moving of crop, moving of livestock, going to the farm, sales to clients, moving stuff to the farm, to our crop farm, moving some inputs and implements. Everything can be done with this machine. It can go for less than $3,000. When we purchased it, it was even less than $2,000. It just keeps going up. So for those who have purchased this already, you know its benefits to your farm. For those who haven't purchased this, I would say it's still way too cheap compared to the amount of work it will do for you, $3,000 is very affordable. Here we have the maize and rice sheller, right? So what a sheller basically does is it peels the outer layer of whatever crop it is you are trying to shell, right? It breaks open your paddy rice so that it can be exposed to the rice seeds that you eat, right? Or it peels the outer shell of your maize so that you get the inner part of the maize. If you watched our previous video where we mentioned ways in which we save money monthly, you will know the uses of this machine. It works wonders for us on the farm. Again, just like the other one, it has its own generator that powers it on. And then here we have the blender. We have a blender that helps blend our produce, whatever it is that our livestock feed that we're going to feed to our animals. It blends it here, and we mix it and then add to our livestock feed. Again, it has its own generator that powers it on and does its work for it. Then over here we have the chaff cutter. A chaff cutter basically breaks or cuts whatever it is you put in there into tiny pieces so that it can be used for another purpose. For example, the maize cobs that you see there can be put in here, and to break it, cut it into tiny pieces to come out and you use as part of your livestock feed, right? So next machine we'll look at is the mixer, right? So you mix different types of feed in there so that it gets uniformity, and then you give it to your livestock or you sell to your customers, right? So that is what this mixer is for. And then we have the grinder here, right? So what this one does is that you put in your produce, you put in your cassava, you put in your maize, you put in whatever it is that you want to be ground into powdered form, and it grinds it. If I can just show you an example here, you can see that these are maize seeds, right? They were brought in here by a client that needed to be ground, right? It has been ground and it has been given to the client, but this is the final product of what. This is how it came, and this is how it resulted, right? So this is a processed maize which the client can use for another purpose, right? Now you can see this is cassava. So your cassava will be dried and it will be brought in here for grinding, and it will put in there, and it will come out. It will come out like this, right? So it could be whatever. It could be rice, it could be maize, it could be cassava, it could be anything. Any of your produce that you need to be processed, it's poured in here, it finds its way in here, it's ground, and then it comes out, and then you give it to your clients, right? So that's another machine we have. You can see that this is a multi-crop thresher. So what a thresher does, it separates. What a thresher does is it separates the leaf or the straw or the stem of your crop from the actual crop. Let's use example with this, right? You can see that this is granules. This was a granules leaf, right? So the way granite is once you harvest your granite, you have granules at the bottom, right, of the leaf. So you throw it into the thresher, and it separates the granite seed from the granite leaf, right? So it comes out separated. You take your that's some examples of granules right there in those bags. So you put your granite seeds aside, and then your leaf is a byproduct you can use for something else. You can watch my previous video where you see where we talked about the uses of this. So this is a multi-crop. So it can work for rice, it can work for maize, it can work for soybeans, it can work for different things, right? And then here, you have a maize thresher. This one is specifically meant for maize, right? Let me just open this so that we can have some more lighting in here. So this is for maize, right? So just like the multi-crop thresher that I mentioned, because we're heavy into maize farming, we needed one that was specific for maize alone. So what happens, this is only meant for maize. You pour in your maize with the cobs on it, right? And then it comes out threshed, right? The seeds are separated from the cobs, right? So that is what this machine is meant for. Okay, so here, the next machines we're going to discuss are our blast freezers. These are blast freezers. We have three. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 blast freezers. And these are all 20 kVA, sorry, 20 horsepower, 50 kVA blast freezer. So this is 20 horsepower, this is 20 horsepower, this is 20 horsepower. There are 20 horsepower and 50 kVA. So you can imagine they pack a lot of punch to it, right? So of what use is this to us? If you watched one of our videos, I'll leave the description, the link somewhere in this, on the screen. If you watch that video, we were talking about how we market our products, right? So we have livestock and we sell processed livestock to third-party vendors who then sell it to their own clients, right? So this is a way of us controlling the price of our products, right? So we slaughter this livestock, we butcher them into several different types of pieces, and then they are put in these blast freezers. What a blast freezer does is it freezes whatever item extremely fast, right? So in a few minutes, it will freeze it to the maximum level that it should be frozen, right? So once it's frozen, it's removed from here and put in this deep freezer. This is a deep freezer, right? So what happens is once that produce is moved here, it maintains the quality of the livestock. You understand? You know, there are organisms and things that break down your slaughtered livestock so that eventually it gets spoiled, right? Once it's put in the blast freezer, it's kept at the maximum level of freshness before it's moved here. So what this means is our livestock, our animals can stay a long time without getting spoiled, up until the point at which we sell it to our third-party vendors, which I mentioned, you know, the video I left the link for you to see, right? So this happens so with this, we always ensure that we sell the best quality products to our clients. Our watchword is selling quality products to clients. You know, you want your clients to be returning customers. You don't want to sell once to someone and they're not impressed with your products and they don't return. You want to always maintain that standard in which will ensure that your clients return. So this, by far, all the machines I've shown you so far, by far, these are the most expensive, right? These were purchased a very long time ago, and even at then, they were quite expensive. I think even as a then, one of these was purchased for like $10,000, just one, right? And then, you know, each of them have their own stabilizer. Each of them, if you come this way, you see that each of them have their own air conditioner, you know, the AC attached to the back to give it the juice it needs. So you can imagine the price of this. This is just the one that was talking about $10,000, and years ago. I will actually be shocked if this one of these is not even up to maybe like $20,000 at this point. You know, with the inflation and everything that is going on. So these are very expensive and they have served us extremely well. Here we have our generator. So this basically powers livestock farm, right? We have a much bigger one, but then it defeats the purpose of this video. We don't want to discuss one that is way too expensive that carries all our other machines. The reason we're talking about this is simply because this one provides the power needed for our borehole, the borehole that provides water to the farm, and then light to our livestock. You know, sometimes when it's too hot, they need light for the fans. Sometimes when it's too cold, they need light for the heaters. So this generator takes care of that. You know, when we're talking about more sophisticated machines such as our dryers and the likes, we'll then talk about the bigger machine. I mean, even the blast freezer I mentioned, I feel like it's not meant to be in this video, but since we've already shot it, we can leave it here. But for the more sophisticated, more expensive machines, we'll discuss them in a separate video. So yes, so this machine, I believe is 6.5 kVA. No, 7.5 kVA if I'm not mistaken. Diesel generator, and it really helps power the farm. All right, discussion time. As you have seen from the video, we have several different types of equipment and machinery that we use on our farm. And just like I mentioned earlier, these are the cheaper options. You know, they are cheap, but they get the job done, right? So we did not want to bombard the video with the expensive machinery that we have, and then it's going to defeat the purpose of this video. Trust me, many of these equipment definitely enhance your farming experience. You don't want to continue doing things the old way, you know, where you put in your all and you barely see any results. You need some of these things to help you, to aid you in making the right decisions in a timely fashion, right? So even for someone who may feel like it's too expensive for them, you would see that the value it will bring to you on your farm will be worth the investment. I mean, it's your choice to make. Definitely do some research on any of these before you purchase. And when you do purchase, I truly hope you enjoy it and it brings value and profitability to your farm. At this point, I would ask that you please like this video. By liking this video, you will help YouTube to recommend it to more people. And the more people that watch the video, the more it helps our channel grow. So please like it. Also subscribe. By subscribing, you are helping our channel grow, and you know we want to have an organic growth here, which will aid in helping more people get involved in farming the right way, farming the easier way, yet getting the most value out of your farm. So also check out our other videos if you haven't already done so. If you feel like there was some value in this video, then you probably find value in our other videos also. We are definitely shooting more videos. We have so many things coming out, and we hope you enjoy them as much as you did this one. Thank you very much.